Let the bodies hit the floor. 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 Hey guys, welcome back to another Spookytoberfest update. I think this is update number 2. So this week I finished doing my base coats and put down the washes. Now I tried a couple of different washes on these. I used the Vallejo dark brown. It actually came out quite a sort of reddish brown. So I ended up going back to my sort of trusty standby, my Agrax Earthshade and Nuln Oil 50-50 mix. Now that's something which I use on my zombies, I use on my pre-heresy marines as well, and it's a good mix. I like how it comes out. So yeah, they're given all given a wash, just helps sort of tone down the metals, bring out the shades and stuff like that. I also like how it sort of tones down the colour transitions as well, and sort of covers up any sort of slight overpaints and things like that. And it gives a sort of good baseline to then go back and start applying more effects and more weathering and stuff like that. So, yep, this is the 2 lots of guys here. You notice the shields at this stage are just painted gunmetal. What I'm going to do next is apply some chipping fluid over the top and then do the heraldry on the front of the shields and then chip that back. Now for these ones, normally you'd use a airbrush to apply chip and medium, but I found with shields on my regular skeleton guys that it works really well if you just brush them on. So if I grab one of my regular dudes, you'll see his shield there, and the chipping effect came out really nicely, just brushed on. So if you don't have access to an airbrush, it is possible to use some of these techniques without them, which is always a bonus because I'm still getting to grips with my airbrush. Now the big experiment this week was doing the kind of aging effects on the bronze. Now I tried a couple of different weathering liquids from Modelmates. I used their mold and their moss green, and this is the finished product. So it's done a really nice job of shading the details and putting some sort of darker greens in there. And you see where it's gone onto the bone a little bit, it's come out a bit brighter. Now that colour was the effect I was going for. But because of the bronze underneath, that's why it's come out a little bit darker, especially if we turn around the back. And I've gone through and put a little bit of a highlight of the new layer colour Agrax bronze from Citadel, and their stupidly complicated naming system which they use. I've just done a few sort of light highlights on that. So I'm fairly happy with this, how this has come out. It wasn't quite what I was looking for. I was wanting a bit more of that kind of brighter green. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to have a play around with a couple of different AK products. There's slimy green and slimy dark green, just to add a little bit more of an effect, just to the sort of lighter highlighted areas, and see if I can get some more green in there. Now if it doesn't work using those, what I might try and do is use a oil wash with some artist oils which I've got lying around, and see if that brings it out. I'm trying some enamel techniques because it sort of gives me a bit more control over where the texture goes and things like that. But even if those don't work, I'm fairly happy with how the bronze has turned out on this. It's definitely toned it down a lot, given it that sort of dark foreboding look. And it's just a matter now of going back through and touching up the highlights and things like that. And I've gone with red as the accent colour for the top of the feathers. I still need to do the highlights and stuff on them, but I'm fairly pleased with how these are coming out. So a bit more rust work and trying to get a little bit more of the sort of green patina in on the metal. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased. So things are progressing fairly well. From here on, once I've got the bronze work done, I can then start highlighting some of my sort of front rank and doing the heraldry and stuff as well for the whole unit. Because as I said, I'm trying to go for the whole unit up to a tabletop standard, and then the front rank is going to get a bit more sort of attention paid to them. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Been good to see some of the other projects I've seen coming along. A lot of people are getting good progress, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more from everyone. So cheers.